Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's class, we are going to study about various file modes and reading functions. In the previous class, I had explained in detail about how to open a file, how to close a file, what is a file object, what is a file handle. And I also explained how using absolute and relative path, you can create an association with the disk file. Okay, how you can use the various ways to open a disk file, and also how to provide the file modes so that you can perform your operations in a better way. So today we are going to specifically study about file modes. What are the different file modes? Modes in which we can open a disk file and perform operations on that. So the very first one is R, which is for read. So now R or read, this file mode basically works when your file exists on the computer. The file should exist. This is the precondition of this file mode, that is your file should exist on the hard disk. Until and unless the file is there on the hard disk, this file mode will not work, it will fail miserably. Okay, so now I'll give you a very simple example. You want to cook rice and you don't have any rice left in the container. Will you be able to cook it? No. You want to study from a textbook and the text, you don't have the textbook with you. Will you be able to study anything, read anything? No. So it's the simple concept which is applied over here. Until and unless the file exists, you will not be able to do any operation, any read operation on the file. Second is the write mode. Now write mode says that it is not necessary for the file to exist on the hard disk. Okay, if the file doesn't exist on the hard disk, write mode will first create the file. It will allocate space on the hard disk for the file. Then whatever you want to write to the file, it will write it onto the file. If the file exists, then what write function does is, whatever is written within the file, write function will erase all that content from the file. It won't delete the file, it won't remove the file from the hard disk, but it would truncate everything within the file. That is, it would remove all the statements within the file. And it would rewrite it with the new content which you have provided. So it basically rewrites content to the file. It rewrites content to the file. Okay, if your file doesn't exist, it will create the file. And it will write the content to the file. If your file exists, it will remove all the previous content and overwrite it with the new content. So this is the write function. Along with this, you have the append function. Now what is the append function? Append is also used for writing to the file, but it does not overwrite. It does not overwrite the file content. Okay, it adds on to the previous content. It adds on to the previous content of the file. Whatever was already there in the file, suppose you had 3 records in the file, 3 more records you want to write. So now the total number of records would be how much? 6. So it adds on to the content of the file, and that too at the end of the file. It will always add on to the end of the file. It will start writing from the end of the file. So this is your append function. Again, if your file doesn't exist, append function will first create the file and then it would write the content. If the file exists, it will only add on to the previous content. Next is R plus. That is, you can perform read as well as write operation onto the file, and you can also perform append operation in the file. That is, along with read you can perform write and append also, but the condition is that file should exist, because our base mode is what? Read mode. Next is W plus. That is, in this we can perform write operation and read operation but not append operation. And A plus, which means you can do append operation and read operation on the file. So file need not exist in these two cases, because if the file doesn't exist, your program is first going to create the file and then it is going to write. So first you have to perform write operation and then only read operation would work, because for read it is necessary, it is mandatory that your file should exist on your hard disk. Then only the read operation would be successful. And if you are doing any write operation, after here what will happen? All the previous content will be removed, and in append previous content won't be removed. So just let us take a quick recap. Read operation, file should exist. Write operation and append operation, file need not exist on your hard disk, but in write what will happen? Previous content would be erased, previous content won't be erased. R plus, file should exist. This is very important over here, students. And you can perform write operation, you can perform append operation on that. W plus, file need not exist in these two cases. File need not exist. Okay, so over here write or read, both operations could be performed. If the file doesn't exist, file would be created and operations could be performed on that. But here we can only perform write, that is previous content would be erased. Whereas in A plus, if file doesn't exist, file would be created and it will only add on to the previous contents. It will not remove the previous content from the file. Now students, all these operations were for text files. We also have binary files, and in binary files these modes are slightly modified because a B is also added there. B says that it is a binary file. So how is B added? So there it would just become like this. Let me just remove all this so that I could give you the final list of all the file modes which could be used with a binary file, because later we will be studying about binary files also. So in binary files we have number 1 RB, that is read operation on a binary file. Read operation on a binary file. Second, we have WB, that is write operation on a binary file. Third, we have AB, which is append operation on a binary file. And similarly, we have R plus B, which is read and write operations on a binary file. On a binary file. We can also write it as this RB plus, then you have W plus B or WB plus, which is write operation, write and read operation on a binary file. And you have A plus B or AB plus, which is append and read operation on a binary file. So these are the file modes which work in the same way as we studied before, but they would be used on binary files. So for the time being, we are not going to see these because we are mainly working on text files for the time being. So later on when we start working on binary files, we would be needing all these file modes. So now we would switch over to the second part of our lecture, that is how to use various reading functions within the file, or what are the various functions through which we can perform read operations on a file. So reading functions. Number one, we have the read function, and within the read function there is an optional argument n which says n bytes. Second is the read line function, which is used for reading one line at a time. Again, it has an optional argument n, where n stands for n bytes. So here it would be read n bytes from the current line. Okay. And the third one is read lines. Now this read lines function is used for reading all the lines from the file. So basically these three functions are used for performing read operations within the file. We will start with the first one, that is read n. So when I say read n, what it signifies? It signifies read n bytes from your file, and if n is not provided, read everything from the file. So we will start with this. So suppose I have a question over here. The question is, read the content of a file named poem.txt. So we have to read the content of a file named poem.txt. So how to do that? So for this we will start with our file handle, as I told you. So let me take the input file handle, that is fin, because I am going to perform a read operation on the file. Open, and I am going to use the R method over here, and over here I am going to specify the path of the file, the relative path. And the read mode. Make sure to provide double quotes everywhere over here. We don't have an option of providing single quotes there. So this is how we first associated the file object with our file, and now we will use it to read the content. So now for reading the content, students, we need to read everything within a string object. So let me take a string object. So I have created a string object named lines, and I'll be this lines variable, it is actually a string object which is used for storing strings. So what it will do is it will store the entire content of the file as a single string. So how it works, let's see. We use the file object dot read. Very simple. So the entire content of the file will be saved in lines, and now what you can do is you can print lines. So in this you will be able to see the entire content of the file. If suppose you can make changes over here, that is, if you want, you can only store some part of the file. So for that you have to provide read and a number. That is, we already saw that we have an argument n which stands for number of bytes. So you can provide number of bytes, suppose 30 over here. So what it will do, it will read the first 30 characters from the file. Okay, and those 30 characters would be saved in lines, and when you print lines would display only the first 30 characters. Now students, certain points about your files. Suppose I have some lines. I am going to write a small poem over here. The content of poem.txt. So I'll be back once I write the content. So I have written some statements over here, as you can see. These are some lines of a poem. So I have written those lines over here so that I could explain it better over here. Had it been the first case over here, this is the first case and this is the second case. In the first case, your Python program would have read all the 6 lines of this poem. Okay. Whereas in the next one, read 30 is given. So we would count exactly 30 from the beginning. Now what happens over here is, students, please pay attention. That is, right in the beginning, there is a file pointer which points to the beginning of the file. There is a file pointer which points to the beginning of the file, which is right over here in the beginning. Okay. So when we read something, like we are reading 30 characters, so let's count. We will be including spaces also and special symbols also in this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we have 27 characters still here, and over here there would be a new line character also which will also be counted. So this would become the 28th character. Then 29 and 30, that is still here. So basically this is 30. So we will be getting these lines as the output. That is, it would be like this. I'm just writing these few lines over here. New line character is also there, and so you can see the new line character because the next line starts over here. Hence, a new line character is over here. So these are the first 30 characters. Once these 30 characters are read, your pointer is set over here at this space, which is the 31st character. Now when you again specify lines equals fin dot read, and you again specify 30 characters, so it is again going to start reading from here. Okay, that is, it is going to start reading from here. It will read 30 characters including the space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is the 20th character, and you have a new line which is the 21st character. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That is till this I. So this is the 30th character over here. Next 30th character is this. Okay. So now your pointer is set at S, so that your program starts reading from here. Right. So our next 30 characters is this part. Understood? So this is how the read function works. So once you read a few lines, the file pointer would be set at the next place. That is, if suppose this is your file. Okay. In the beginning it was set over here. Once you read some characters, maybe till here you have read. So now your file pointer would be set over here. Then again you read some characters till here. So your file pointer would be set at here and it would start reading from here. So this is how your file read function works. Now let us see the other functions, that is the read line function. Now the read line function will read one line at a time. How do we know that it is going to read lines? That is because we are currently working with text files, and we know that in text files every line has an end of line character, an EOL character at the end. So because there wasn't space here, so I continued this line over here. Here also we have an EOL character. Here also we have an EOL. Here also we have an EOL. And here also we have an EOL. And EOF, that is end of file character also. So at the end of every line there is a new line character. You can either say this is EOL or slashing. Understood? So there is a slash n character at the end of every line. So now what read line function is going to do is it is going to read one line at a time. So read line function will read one line at a time. So let us write the statements within a program. First of all, we'll try to understand it with a program. So in this program, we are going to read one line at a time from the file and print its content. Let me use the other method over here. And here I am going to write, I am going to take a string lines and I am going to give a space, white space character to this so that it is not empty. And while lines, that is while lines is non-empty. The meaning of this is while lines is non-empty, continue doing the series of operations. What are they? Lines equals fin dot read line and print lines. For the sake of convenience, I can rename this as line also, because we are reading one line at a time. So we are reading one line at a time. So what will happen in this? It will first open and then line will be set to an empty string. Now while line is non-empty, line equals file dot read line. So till the first EOL encountered over here, this first line would be read into line and this would be printed on the screen. So it would be like this. We work, we try to be better. So this one line is printed and end. Okay. So after this, again the line is not empty. So we go back again and read the next line. That is, it means that there are still other lines within the program. So read the second line, we work with full zest and print that. Likewise, all the lines will be read one at a time till it reaches a point where there are no more lines to be read. So once it reaches the end of the file, once the pointer reaches over here, it will try to read but there would be nothing read. So at this point, line would contain none. And this condition would prove false and hence it would be terminated. So this is how read line function works. In read line functions, there is one more thing. If you provide the number of characters, suppose I provide the number of characters, that is 5. Now there is a catch here. If I write read line 5, so what will happen? It will first read the first 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, first 5 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is still this much. V and WO. And next time again when it reads, it will continue from here only. So next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will read till here, then next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till here, and then it will read these 3 characters E, R and /n. And once it gets a new line character, it will stop reading. So if you are providing a number, that is number of bytes over here, you have to be very careful because this number of bytes, it first starts reading from the beginning of the line. It will read that many number of bytes and it will continue it till it gets a new line character. The moment it gets a new line character, it will only read the characters up to the new line character. Now for the next read line, for reading the next line, we have to again use the next iteration where the pointer would be set at the beginning of the next line and it again starts reading 5 characters at a time. So you have to be very careful with this. It's a good idea not to use number of bytes over here until and unless you have a specific type of question where you need to read only a number of characters from the beginning of the line, from the beginning of each line. So this was using the read line function, and regarding the read lines function is used for reading all the lines from the file at once. So let's see that. So rest of the things would be kept the same and I am only going to change it to lines now. And I am only going to write this statement like this: fin dot read lines. So what read lines is going to do is, it is going to read all the lines from the file and save them as individual strings within a list. So every line which you can see over here is saved as a single string within an outer list. So this way you have an outer list and this list is a list of strings where every string is a list item over here. So what you can do is you can read all the lines at once and then you can start processing them one by one. Like for line, in lines. print line. So what will happen? Every line can be considered and it can be processed according to the user's requirement. So this is what is read lines function. Students, in this class we conclude till here. In this class we have studied the various file modes for text files as well as binary files, and we have also studied the three reading functions: read, read line and read lines function. So please watch this video till the end, so that when I am saying this, that you may not understand everything at once. So next time when you again watch this video, please watch it till the end, so that you understand the difference between all the three types of read functions very well. So with this we conclude today's class. In the next class we will learn how to create programs practically. We'll understand that through a practical demonstration on the computer, and how we can read content from a file and how we can use it for different purposes. Thank you.